Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess. This channel is the Lifestylings of Jess. If you're new, thanks for taking time to watch my video. Hit the subscribe button and the notification button to get updates on my lifestylings. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you for coming back. And today is under 100 degrees in Vegas, which means we have all the fall feels going on in the kitchen. Abby had requested chili and cornbread, so that's what we're gonna make for a dinner. And we had a really long day at church today, so we're just gonna go ahead, mix it all up, dump it in the crock pot, and we'll have a really nice fall meal in about a couple hours. So come cook with me. We're making chili. I'm gonna go ahead and make chili by request of Abby. She wanted to have chili and cornbread. So we're gonna have chili in the crock pot, and I was getting my ingredients together. I usually use just pinto beans and some chili beans, and somebody broke into my chili bean stash. And so I'm gonna have to pour out some dry beans, and I'm gonna have to make those in the Instant Pot, which I'll go ahead and measure them out now so they can get soaking. That's gonna take a while. I'm gonna measure out, a can is about 15 ounces. So we don't like a lot of beans anyway. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out to maybe about 15. Okay, because we gotta soak these. Well, maybe I'll just do about 8. 10, that's probably enough, because we don't like a ton of beans. These are just regular pinto beans. I make these once in a while, but I don't make them that often because they do take a long time. So I'm just gonna soak these, get them ready to go while I finish doing the rest for the chili. So let me just see if I can pan you guys down here. I'm gonna go ahead and chop up my onion first. I like to have this little bowl to the side. I learned it from Rachel Ray. It's called a garbage bowl. So it's just super easy to just put your trash in there, and then you can you can just dump it out later, because I tend to make a mess when I'm cooking. And so I always have my little garbage bowl ready to go whenever I'm cooking, just to make it a little bit easier to clean up later. That way stuff isn't all over the counters, because I tend to be quite, get things all over. So a little trick that I learned is if you rinse off your onion with cold water after you peel it, it actually makes it easier to chop, and just kind of wipe it off, and you don't really get that onion cry that I tend to get a lot. Mine used to be so sensitive, so I started just, because I like to rinse off all my vegetables and stuff, so I started doing that. And I found that it actually helped. Like, I haven't cried over onions in years, guys. This is like a little miracle. So I'm just gonna go ahead and chop these onions up. It's just one onion. I have small onions right now, so I'll do one small onion. I totally put green pepper in here, but I didn't realize that I was out of green pepper. I thought I still had some. So there's not going to be any green pepper in these ones. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to get the hamburger started browning, and then I'm going to come back to you. Okay guys, I just turned the fire on to about a medium high, and I'm going to put a little olive oil in here to cook down the onions like that, get nice and hot real quick. The ingredients that I'm using, this is actually the Pioneer Woman's chili. I haven't made it in a really long time, so I'm gonna see how it works. But I use this tomato sauce here, and then we have quite a few seasonings. We're gonna use the ground cumin, the chili powder. I'm gonna put a little paprika in it, crushed red pepper, and of course black pepper, and a little bit of salt, which I have over there. And actually, I'm gonna use this chili packet because I'm making a little bit more than normal. This has all the seasonings and spices that you need, so I really like using this just on top of it, because It actually gives a little more flavor when you're making a bigger batch. I really like that. So we're just gonna put our onions in here and saute them until they're translucent. This just takes a couple minutes. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add the garlic because it tends to burn fast, so we're gonna add that next. All right, and so now the onion is getting translucent, little brown. So I'm just gonna add about 1 teaspoon of garlic. Just kind of, that does brown up fast, so we gotta make sure that we get cooking fast. This ground beef is actually a little bit more than I wanted to use, so it's probably okay if we don't have so much beans, because we're gonna have more chili. Wash that down. Alright, so now we just want to get this all broken up so it can start to cook down with the onions, the garlic. This is actually almost a pound more. This is like 2.8 pounds or something, so this is kind of a lot. Maybe we won't need so many beans. Okay, so this is about the point where I like to add my seasoning to the meat. Right here I'm just going to use the Tony's seasoning and a little bit of salt, just a little bit of salt because that's kind of salty already. So a little bit of salt and some fresh ground pepper. I'm not going to add garlic because I already add the garlic cloves to it. Garlic is not my favorite flavor, so fresh garlic seems to kind of do the trick for us in this chili. So we're going to let this get browned up, and then we'll be right back. While this hamburger is cooking, I just kind of wipe up around my area here. I want to keep my stove nice and clean. So we just kind of do that, waiting for everything to cook down. And this, I had to turn the heat up a little bit because I forgot that I had put it on low for the garlic. So this is going to start to cook up more fast. So we turned up the heat a little bit. And we don't need like a ton of seasoning because I am going to put that seasoning packet in there. So it really helps. I think I might just add a little bit of chili powder here, just since we already have that chili flavoring for the actual sauce that goes in the chili. So I think I'll just add a little bit here. Sometimes it's hard. Just add a little bit onto there. Mix that in. Gives it just a little bit of that kind of chili smoke flavor to the actual hamburger meat. So that's almost done. Okay, so it's about that time to drain the excess grease off of here. I am going to be putting this in the crock pot, so it's okay if there's just a couple little pink pieces, but I really want to try to get them browned up so there's no pink, but looks pretty good. So I think I'm going to drain the grease off that and add the other ingredients. Okay, so I transferred my brown ground beef into the crock pot already. I'm just going to go ahead and add the chili packet and incorporate that into this here. I have the crock pot, I can feel it starting to heat up already. I have the crock pot on high. I'm going to put it on high for about 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, so we got that incorporated. I'm going to now add my sauce. I've already wiped it off, and normally, I think the original recipe calls for 8 ounces, but I'm going to go ahead and put the whole can in here just because I have more ground beef than the actual recipe calls for. So I'm just going to make sure this is all mixed in here. Okay, and the next thing is the chili powder. It calls for 2 tablespoons, so I'm going to put that in here with the sauce and the meat. And then for cumin, it's 1 teaspoon, so I'm just going to measure that out. I just put a little bit less than a teaspoon in there. And I just sprinkle on the paprika, just kind of like so. And we're going to put just a little bit of, instead of cayenne, we're going to do crushed red pepper. It just is easier to control the actual spice. I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. And then just a little tiny bit of salt. You don't need that much. And I'm going to hit it with the black ground pepper again. Okay, so that looks good. I'm just going to stir that around, incorporate everything nice and good. Just about like so. And I'm going to add my drained and rinsed pinto beans. Not very many, so I might still add some more beans here later. But it's still enough. I don't know. I'll gauge it and see. We don't like a lot of beans, so put that in there. Now the next thing is I'm going to add about a cup of water just to start with. It helps keep it moist and it gives it the consistency that we like. We don't like a super thick chili, but we don't like it on the runny side either. So this is going to be about, like I said, just about a cup. We'll have to gauge it. If it gets a little bit dry, I'll add some more. But for now, this I think is going to be okay. And we'll keep an eye on it. Because it makes its own juice also, so you don't want to like over wet it, but you definitely don't want it to be too dry either. So now we can get the lid on the chili and we're going to watch it for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. I'll keep it on high and then I'll check it, see how it is consistency wise, and we'll kind of go from there. And see guys, the garbage bowl is so perfect because then you just take it and dump it, then you can wash your bowl, and it's definitely less mess to clean up. It just makes my life so much easier. I thank Rachel Ray for showing us this trick on her channel. It's amazing. Garbage bowl is definitely a must. Okay, so I got my beans measured out to a cup. I'm going to go ahead and dump them in this pressure cooker and add 4 cups of water to 1 cup of beans. This is going to pressurize and cook for about 20, we're going to go for 23 minutes, I think 24 minutes. So I'm going to press, let's see, oops, that's the wrong one. Okay, we're going to go for 24 minutes. And we're going to let that come up to steam. The great thing about these pressure cookers, if you don't have one, they're super convenient. You can just put them, I mean, if you forget to freeze, to unthaw your hamburger, they will unthaw it for you. If you forget beans and you need to cook beans real quick, usually you have to soak them overnight. I just give them a quick soak, I put them in here, and they're good in about 25 minutes. So this thing is really cool. Cooks a lot of stuff too. Roasts, and we do a lot of rotisserie chickens in here. This thing is super awesome. So if you don't have one, you might want to look into it. These are so cool. This isn't an actual Instant Pot. This is one my grandma gave me, and it's still really good. It's just not the Instant Pot that everybody uses, so I cook it differently, but it's still the same at the end because it all comes out the same. So we'll see you back in just a few minutes. Thank you guys for following along with my cooking today for our Sunday chili dinner. If you haven't already, please subscribe and I'll try to get more videos out for you guys. I have more stuff than just cooking coming up. So let me know if you guys want to see any type of particular videos. Leave a message down in the comments and I'll try to see what I can do. But thank you again for watching and have a good night. Bye. Oh, Pisces wants out. Where are you going? I think he's mad. I think he wants chili.